prior to coming to you, but let's just say they know nothing, 0 followers. What is the biggest bottleneck for them?
Well, I would say the main thing for coaches is consistency. So a lot of coaches will want to look good. They'll be like, yeah, I'll post 2 or 3 times a week, a few carousels and stuff like that. It's not what works. John had a video that brought him in like 300 followers.
It built his to 300k followers.
Yeah, sorry.
And his business was built off that one piece of content.
Exactly, one piece of content. We have clients that have done so well with content. It's misfortunate to see like there's so much coaches wasting their potential.
What is a shit educational video?
When you're just no personality, this is your content, but how are you in person?
I speak to so many coaches, and they say it's saturated.
Coaches will say, I don't want to be cringy.
And then the ending part, the most important, I'll let you take away with this. Why are you important in a fitness coach's journey?
When you're coming to us, you can get into the calendar every week. We actually prioritize clients who come to us on a month-to-month basis. You get your day, you get your time slots, and it's in the calendar. We're making getting content as easy as possible. This videography and stuff like that was shit and gay. I was working in a hotel doing weddings, doing bar work, and fuck me, it was a shit job. A big thing back then, of course, was where I was in life. So out of shape, shit job, toxic relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of people turned against me. I was just selling everything just to fucking get enough money to go for 1 month's rent. I think I got like 3 clients in the first month. It was just like, we had nothing. Like I've been at the laptop now this last while, just non-fucking stop, just work.
Yeah.
I had my first like 7 or 8k months. It was purely just me. It was film that client that morning, edit all day, film the client, edit, film, edit, film, edit.
If there was anyone watching this thinking, oh, I'm a bit on the fence about joining Troy and Trojan Scaling Circle, what would you say to them?
I'd say 100% join up. As you just said, you're making fucking 100k months. Like that's fucking ridiculous in the first place, especially with being young.
If you're a fitness business owner and you want to scale and you want to grow your content, get loads of views, make a load of money, today we have the honor of, we have so many different intros. One of my mentor students, one of my videographer, my editor, the best content, I suppose, manager in Dubai. Humbling you, right? That's not bad. And then also my best friend. So I mean, we're in here for a good podcast today. Joe, how are you, man?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. It's my first time, so gonna have to excuse if I mess up a little bit.
Yeah, it's great. He's a bit nervous.
Just a tiny bit.
I want everybody to kind of get an understanding. Everybody that's going to be watching this probably either doesn't know who you are or does know exactly who you are after watching from back from our old hometown. Tell us a bit about you, Joe. Who are you?
So, I mean, obviously, coming from the same town, we come from Wicklow, come from Ireland, small town mentality. Obviously, us coming to Dubai together was a big thing as well because we wanted to just escape
Escape the
Ireland.
Matrix.
Escape the Matrix. Even like, actually, that reminds me. Even remember going back to when we were getting up at like 4 a.m, getting up at 6 a.m, just listening to Andrew Tate song, just fucking every day, just being like, right, we need to escape the Matrix. And it's actually weird now to look at it now that you're doing your podcast for your business and stuff like that, and it's just like,
What the fuck?
what's actually happening? Like,
What life are we living?
Yeah.
So just for anybody that doesn't know, Joe is a videographer, right? And he has a videography business and also an editing business as well. But he primarily works with only fitness coaches, right?
Yeah, so we work with fitness coaches. We work with a lot of fitness coaches as well. So a lot of the guys that are even with you work with us. The reason we kind of stick with the fitness coaches is just because now that we've kind of mastered that niche, it's kind of like repetition and it's become somewhat easy. And there's just so much fitness coaches out there who still need help with their content, whether it be obviously from a videography standpoint, editing standpoint, and even just having me there help them with like some scripts and stuff like that. Like you do got people like yourself who are really good at content, but some people still struggle big time. They struggle with their hooks, the body of the video, the CTAs, just everything in general. They don't understand it. And there's where we market ourselves and how we kind of stand out and why we pick that niche of doing the gym is because we work with so many people. We see what's working. And it's great to be able to like help as many people as possible do the same thing. So for an example, if we see a video go viral for you or there's something working for you, it's kind of like, okay, hey guys, like this video is working, give it a try. But unfortunately, there's some coaches who still struggle with their content. They don't put the effort in.
Ass.
Yeah, it's just shit in general, yeah, unfortunately.
And I suppose I always like to say this, the riches is in the niches, and I suppose a jack of all trades is a master of nothing, right? Have you heard that one? And now that you've diversified down strictly into fitness coaches, it's allowed you to be able to have full focus directly on what the fitness coach needs.
Exactly.
Which is why, I suppose, if you're not working with any type of, I suppose, either mastermind or even delegating towards a videographer or an editor, and if you have the income to be able to do that, you're extremely fucking silly not to be doing it.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
When it comes to fitness coaches, because of course it's probably going to be primarily only fitness coaches watching this, or jealous little pricks back from our old town. Fuck you, boy. But in regards
you know who you
for a special shout out. In regards to what fitness coaches, I suppose, struggle the most with prior to coming to you, but let's just say they know nothing, 0 followers. What is the biggest bottleneck for them?
So what I would say the main thing for coaches is consistency. So a lot of coaches will want to they want to look good. They'll be like, yeah, I'll post 2 or 3 times a week, you know, a few carousels and stuff like that. It's not what works.
Yeah.
Of course, it looks pretty for your page. You know, you can say, yeah, I am posting, like, so I don't know what's going on. But if we look at you, like, we've been together since the very, very start, and it was just consistency of throwing so much videos out there. I was also actually watching a podcast the other day. I can't remember who it was exactly, but they're actually talking about YouTube, and it was quite interesting because they were saying to grow YouTube and stuff like that, it's consistency and posting so much videos. And it's just kind of like how people don't understand that if you post every single day compared to someone who's not posting every single day, you're going to run away from the competition.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I understand if there's coaches out there who maybe don't have the money to invest into videographers and editors and stuff like that, but that means you more than likely have the time to do your own content.
Yeah.
So as we always say, lead flow, big thing. You need to be doing content. So like big thing is definitely the consistency. And then obviously I will admit that if you're throwing shit out there and it's not good, it's more than likely not going to land, but the consistency will allow you to get better at content because you're actually getting comfortable in front of the camera, and you're actually testing what's working. So like, as we always say as well, you're one video away from going viral. What you had, one video that will hit
212.
Yeah, 212. Sean had a video that brought him in like 200, 300 followers.
It built his to 300k followers.
Yeah, sorry.
And his business was built off that one piece of content.
Exactly, one piece of content.
The podcast is actually going up later today, but when this goes live, it will have been already up probably like a week or so. But that's the similar thing. It's like he was this close. We're speaking about Sean Coffey, my mentor student. This close to giving up on social media.
Yeah.
And he had posted every single fucking day for like a year straight. And the day that he said, I think I'm going to quit, that post that he posted that night built him a 6-figure business.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that goes to show. And what I like to show, if you see my Instagram as well, is with our pinned posts, is we have clients that have done so well with content and we know exactly what works. So again, as we go back to being in that fitness industry and being in that niche, what it allows us to do is look over all the coaches and see what's working, see what's not working. And it's clear as day to see why a coach isn't doing well with content versus why they're doing well with content, and it's unfortunate. And it's kind of like, I want to say it right, but it's kind of like, it's misfortunate to see like there's so much coaches wasting their potential.
Yeah.
Whether like just in general with their content. And it's kind of like, it's so easy to see where to go, but they're just not doing it. So it's just kind of confusing. Even when I have conversation with coaches, it's kind of like, yeah, no, you're 100% right. Like I do need to be doing better on my content and stuff like that. But then they don't bother. So
it's funny because I have these calls with these, you have similar calls to me, right? You're having calls with them to see how you can help them about content. I'm having calls with them to see, how it can help them with business. And 90% of the time, it's always the content. That's the issue. It's like there's a leak in the bucket with the content. They're not getting the views that they think they should be. And besides consistency, because you said, some people can be consistent, but their content could be shit and it won't necessarily land. What is a shit educational video? Can you explain it to a fitness coach?
So what I would personally say is a shit video is when you're just no personality, to be honest. So I feel like you can definitely do everything in terms of moving around angles, doing certain edits, doing what is going to be visually engaging. Yeah. But realistically, if you're boring or if people don't want to listen to you, like it's quite obvious. And I love when people talk about this as well. It's like, someone who's in shape.
Yeah, yeah.
Like if you see a piece of content when someone's in shape, you're watching that, you're showing social proof. But then there's obviously some coaches who might not be in shape. I'm not trying to call anyone out, but their content's probably not as landing.
Yeah.
And what I would say a big thing is, when I look back on the people that I've worked with, is just unfortunately there's nothing that just grabs you into that video.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with your videos, for example, it was always hilarious.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the amount of skits we did was mad, and it was just personality being brought out. And what I'd say is there's a few coaches that we work with who necessarily don't have a great personality or who are bubbly, but they found what kind of works for them.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if there is any coaches who are stuck at a point now, they need to really evaluate their content and what they're doing, and how they're being presented. So a thing that I like to say to people as well is like, okay, this is your content, but how are you in person? Like sometimes even myself, when I come out in my content, I'm not the same person as I am, let's say, with me and you. Like I laugh, I smile. Do you know what I mean? Where people's content are just like robots. So that's not going to stand out. Mm-hmm. Where you look at, I'm just trying to think of someone off the top of my head. Tony McLeavy. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Personality. And then he's got that personality mixed with that video style of the educational, the changing angles, the editing, simple.
Yeah.
And it blows up.
I think I speak to so many coaches, and they say it's saturated. And I 100% agree that it is saturated, full of fucking clowns. Either the person is good at content, but they're a shit coach, or the person is amazing at coaching, but terrible at fucking content. Yeah. It's hard to find somebody that's good at both. And in this day and age, it's not back, in 2019 where, coming up to COVID, you could stick a poster on a board, you could put your photo in the newspaper and you get clients that way. Unfortunately, Gen Z are taking over the coaching game, and others are getting frustrated because they've got more experience in the game, they're better coaches. Yeah. Probably agreed. But we're fucking running rings around you around content. Yeah. So if you don't evaluate your, strategy, you're going to get fucking left behind.
Yeah, I agree. Big thing there as well is those coaches will say, I don't want to be cringy, or I don't want to be this type of way. Yeah. And it's kind of like, no one's asking you to be.
Literally.
No one's asking you to be a different person. It's like, I don't want to get in front of the camera and do bicep curls and say this and all. Well, you don't have to. Mm-hmm. It's either like, it's implementing something that's going to work for you, but implementing those techniques that make a video good into that as well. Yeah. If that makes sense.
Some examples of a technique, let's go through them. So I'll go for one. Number one is the hook. And the hook, something so important, right, is what are the certain words that you use? I've noticed personally, bold comments work best. You know what I mean by bold comments?
Yeah.
Do you want to give me an example of a perfect good hook that a fitness coach could put into their content today?
I would say what I've seen that's done really well is negative hooks. Yeah. So stop doing this. Mm-hmm. Stop doing this with your bicep curls. Just something negative. It depends what it comes to. You'll never lose fat because of this. Yeah. Just something negative seems to do the best.
Because the viewer watches it and goes, "What? Hold on here." You know what I mean? Or one that I've been doing a lot is, you've been doing this wrong this entire time with your chest press. And it instantly frames their mind to think, oh, I wonder if I'm one of those people that's been doing it wrong.
Rather than if you, in your hook, give away the answer, it's kind of like, oh, if you're doing your chest press like this, you're doing it wrong. But like showing what you're doing wrong, well, then you've just shown the video.
And then you swipe.
Yeah,
because you've just got
because you've got the answer within the first 3 seconds.
And another thing, that's actually while I'm here, I don't want to forget it. When people say, stop doing these or implement these 3 exercises. If you give away the number 3 at the start, on the 3rd exercise, when you say the exercise word, they'll scroll because they know the meaning of the value and they know that there's no value at the end of it. Yeah. Right? Instead, if you switch these wording around, and people are probably watching this being like, that's fucking game changer, I've even thought of that. Yeah. But that's how you need to look at your content. Instead of saying, here's 3 bicep curl exercises that I recommend implementing, it's like, you're going to kick yourself when you notice you haven't been doing these best bicep exercises. And they don't know when the video ends. Yeah. Therefore, they just accidentally stay until the end.
It's that story building that we were talking about one day as well. And we started implementing it with my content. But it's kind of like trying to build and build and build and build. And then the answer's given away at the end. So I've even had a few clients. And what I've said to them is the exact same thing. It's like you're giving away the answer at the start. We want to drag it as much as possible down towards the end. Yeah. So an example... It's kind of hard with bicep curls, but yeah, exactly. Yeah. But you just want to tease them and then get them and then finish it.
I'm a teasing expert at this point.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? In regards to the body, because a lot of people won't know what you mean by the body.
Okay, so the body would be basically the whole video itself, the educational. So your hook is what, your first 2 or 3 seconds, your opening line, then the body is the rest of the video. And why this is important is because waffle is a big thing. So people just like repeating themselves and just putting unnecessary things in there. There's just no need for it.
Unnecessary fluff.
Exactly. So you can have a video that's 1 minute long, but you can get the same information and make it more engaging by having it 30 seconds long and you've said the exact same thing.
Yeah, I agree. And then the ending part, the most important, I'll let you take away with this.
This is actually a funny one. So I was talking to a few coaches about it and they were like, yeah, we're not putting CTAs in anymore. I was kind of like, why? They were like, don't know, it just like looks more casual and stuff like that. And I'm just like, yeah, but you're just saying at the end, like, follow me for more. If you want more content like this, follow. So like if people see that, they're going to go, oh, you know what, this dude makes fitness content, I want to follow him. So it just makes no sense. Obviously, again, then you have 2 CTAs, like I'd always like to say. You've got your follow and you've got your comment. Obviously, comment for anyone who's got that back-end systems where they can do the automations and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. They can use them. They're good. It's just down to yourself on what you're trying to do. Like, for example, our client Harry loves a comment CTA. Why? Because the amount of people who've commented on his video. So the videos that's gone viral for him have just had hundreds and thousands of comments. So then
I've seen it had like 16,000 comments or something like that.
that's nuts.
Which
Like,
is 16,000 leads, just FYI.
yeah. So 16,000 leads off one video.
Yeah.
So that, like, when you look at it, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And then a big thing as well, the comments actually help with Instagram. They help push that video further as well.
Absolutely. You've probably seen it in my content recently. I've been spamming the comments instead of more follow CTAs because I'll tell you why. Of course, it does help with the algorithm. But the more traffic that you can put into your DMs without you having to do work, it limits the amount of action bans that you can get on your account. So essentially, if you say follow for more and you go out and outreach every single person on your following list, oftentimes there's too much followers that you can't send that many DMs because I think Instagram algorithm or Instagram health is capped at like 30 outbounds per 30 minutes, right?
Okay. Yeah.
If you gain 3,000 followers overnight, which is easy. I mean, I gained 72,000 followers overnight.
Yeah.
Was I able to send 72,000 fucking outbounds? I would have been banned straight away if I even attempted that. So a couple of different things that the comment CTA can just improve your Instagram health, improve the algorithm, improve viral chance of more chance of virality, I should have said. So it's a no-brainer to put in some more lead magnets into it.
100%.
Is there any good lead magnets that you've been seeing doing really well recently?
Mainly arms. Like
Arm guides.
I've even seen Ben Bray's content. He started implementing the moving around more. Obviously,
Angle changes, yeah.
He's a very big page. He's more of a, well, no, I wouldn't say an influencer, but
He's a personality.
Yeah, a personality, exactly. So he started implementing this content now and dropping the CTAs in there with the arm guides and stuff like that, and they're doing really well from.
I think when any fitness coach has the ego or the mentality of I don't want to look cringy, it's because they're looking at my videos and I have this type of humor where I don't mind being cringy, right? And it's kind of like my humor. Like, you know me as a person, sometimes I'll act zesty as fuck, right? And I don't mind doing that in a video because that's actually my personality.
Yeah.
Other people watch that and go, gay.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's that's probably my ick when it comes to this job, is when people turn around and go, I don't want to be like everyone else, or it's cringy. It's just like, come on, man.
Your job's not to copy. Your job's to take inspiration, see what's working for them, and
do it for you.
fucking find your uniqueness. You know. And me, it was, and the reason I started this was prior to start working with you. Of course, you know, we were friends long before that, and we can go into a bit more personal and you're scaling your business as well. But we're giving away a lot of key tips here, you know, so that's good. But in regards to, I suppose, what I found done best for me, it was always the 2 people talking. Yeah. Because I was so nervous behind a tripod. I was looking at the tripod in the eyes and I was like, if you want to get more tips for the stomach, and I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, you're shy.
Every 2 minutes I'm shy as fuck. But when I like looked away and I like the camera wasn't there and I looked at my other self and I was like, yo, Troy, how do I fucking make my dick bigger? Like, you know,
it was easier and flew better.
It just felt so much better.
It's funny on that as well, actually. So I don't know if you've seen, but people were like saying, oh, skit videos are dead, these videos are dead. It just goes to show, right?
A specific mentor said skit videos are dead.
You've been doing this 3 years and you've been doing skit videos and they're still working.
Still banging.
So it makes no sense to me why coaches aren't doing this style of educational videos when they know it works, okay? And I'm not going to hate on absolutely anyone, but when it comes to doing the cinematic gym content, okay, cool as fuck, and the videographers are sick. They're really good at what they do. However, it's not the videos that are gonna bring in those leads, bring in more leads. I've actually looked through it because obviously when I have a bit more time now with since Evan's doing my recordings and stuff like that, I have a look through some videos. I think they're perfect for promotional videos just because you want that nice cinematic look. But I haven't seen a video over 10K. And someone can send it to me if I'm wrong, and they can send me a video that's gone completely viral for gym or fitness coaches off that. But it's just like, why are you not doing videos that work?
Yeah.
So you can see, let's say coaches in the game, right? Let's say they're making between 50K and 100K a month, right? And all these coaches are doing what? They're doing consistent reels, and they're doing the exact same educational, moving around reels.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, it just doesn't make sense to me why people are looking at that and going,
Yeah.
like, it doesn't make any sense.
And they try use the excuse as money isn't everything. I want to try, build something that I'm happy with and stuff like that. I don't want to sell my soul, right? It's just find your fucking thing, dude. You know? One thing, Joe will be a whole lot more nice about it. I'll be very fucking straightforward. Anybody that films cinematic reels, you're a fucking retard. Right? I'm a lot more straight out. I don't care who doesn't like it. It's the information you need to hear. And I'm the type of person that, I won't sell my soul just for you to like me. If you don't like me, cool. Right? This is what you need to do. The educational videos are just for lead generation. Yeah. It's to gain trust. It's to build more followers. And with that, you can start making more fucking moolah and creating a bit more of an impact. If you're sitting there frustrated, you're a great coach. Have you noticed every top coach in the industry, not in terms of who make the most money, who are the best coaches, actually genuinely in terms of education, they're all the ones that want cinematic. You ever notice that?
As in,
no one wants all the best coaches in the game, like that actually have the best skills, the big bodybuilders.
They want to do the cinematic content.
They don't want to do what it takes to be viral, right? Yeah. And I'm just saying you're wasting your potential. I understand, because they're holding on to their ego. They're saying, why should I fucking do what Troy's doing? I've got 10 years plus experience on him. I've got thousands of more transformations than him. I'm not copying that fucking lunatic. Okay, fall behind.
Yeah.
So I would say make a switch, evaluate your content, try fucking do a bit better.
You like, doesn't mean you're going to go out there and make cringy content. It's just you literally just finding what works for you.
I don't think my content's cringy. It's me.
No, it's,
that's what I'm saying.
But what other people say it's cringy or whatever. And I was like, it's just, it just actually annoys me so much.
Yeah.
But what can you do? You just kind of have to let them fall behind, really.
Yeah. In regards to, I suppose, before we go into a bit more personal chit chat, what your service, your offer, right? People can find this information that we're talking about online. We're not the only two motherfuckers talking about this, right? But in regards to, I suppose, where you feel like you hold your value in people like my life, right? Because of course I know everything about the content, but I still fucking hire you. Why are you important in a fitness coach's journey?
Well, you have so much important aspects of your business. You don't have the time to be doing your own content.
Yeah.
Like, how long is it going to take you to film yourself doing those type of reels? Let's be real here. It takes you an hour with us. You film 10 reels in an hour, and that's your week's content. That's class. It's you getting your time back. And obviously what we do as a service is make that as easy as possible. So when you're coming to us, you can get into the calendar every week. We actually prioritize clients who come to us on a month-to-month basis. You get your day, you get your time slots, and it's in the calendar. We're making getting content as easy as possible. And even on top of that, you're getting your videos back within 2 to 3 days. Bet you can't find a videographer out there or editors who can do that.
I've worked with well over 50 editors at this point. I'm reinvesting back into a lot of editing. Even before I met you, I spent so much money on editors. Not a single editor has ever been able to get me back quality in a short time span. They just can't do it.
And that's what is great about us, is that the quality is so good.
Yeah.
And you get it back within 2 to 3 days. We've built that system with the business now that the service is just unmatched.
Yeah.
Like, you don't find anyone better.
No.
And the thing is, people will always try to find cheaper. They'll always try go an easier route. And it always ends up just them getting inconsistent again and them getting pissed off. Like, I've had so many clients that have come to me and gone, I just can't stand my other videographer anymore. The work is shit. It's not coming back in time. Like, can I please just get going with you? And then even if you ask anyone who works with us, it's just such an easy process.
Looking for cheaper is just the quickest way to draw yourself to failure.
And that's a big thing I've learned in business now as well. is you can't go cheap, especially when you're hiring and stuff like that. Like going cheap is a no-no.
Yeah, we just recently been through a hiring issue with Joe, which we'll get into, where I suppose we've went to hire cheap, and what has happened as it's all fell down because, of course, we're not focusing on quality of staff. Now I feel like we're starting to pick the flow where all of the staff members are performing well, and it's a whole lot less stressful on you, you know. But it's something that every business owner will go through, and if you don't go through it, you're not scaling fast enough.
No, and that's why I highlight, like, it's just, we've gone expensive for hiring, we've gone cheap, we've been in the middle, and it's just so obvious to see there is a difference in standard. And it's kind of like going to certain coaches, like certain coaches will charge more because they believe that their standard is at a certain match. With us selling our videography services, our price is really good.
It's really, yeah.
For what we do. I've had people turn around and go, listen, that's actually very cheap. I've only had maybe one person turn around and go, oh, maybe you're a bit expensive, but that's someone who's just a bit...
Doesn't have the income to
Yeah,
back that.
probably.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, it's exactly why. Because when we actually break down how much it costs per reel, and if you want to find out, you can book a call with Joe. We won't give away no secrets here. But in regards to like how much it costs per reel and stuff like that, it's working on industry par as if it was going to hire you like a videographer at like a cheap third world country videographer for an hour, a terrible editor that is a little 8-year-old kid in his basement. Like, it's on par with that, and we can get the service of Dubai's leading videographer.
Exactly.
It's fucking a no-brainer.
And again, bringing it back to who works with every single fitness coach. Yeah. So a big thing for people out here as well, especially, they'll use videographers who are just regular videographers. So their work is a little bit different. They have a certain style to them. They just don't understand what it takes to make a good fitness video. Yeah. So it's kind of like, if you're a fitness coach, why wouldn't you use someone who's in the fitness niche, who does nearly every fitness coaches? Like, we've worked with over 50 fitness coaches. In 1 month, we're like 20 clients of just pure fitness coaches out here in Dubai. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like, why would you go to someone else when you know you can go to someone where the content is going to work and eventually videos are going to blow?
People you're trying to copy over, like, and people you're trying to aspire to be like are working with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, it'd be a fucking stupid thing not to follow in that foot track.
Exactly.
That's one of my intros done, which was the Dubai's leading videographer. Now we'll get into, you know, a bit more of our personal, and then we'll go through, you know, how I've helped you with business and stuff like that as well. And we'll go through your business milestones, your success. But how did you get into videography?
This is a funny story, isn't it? So
It's probably the most wholesome story ever. Like,
yeah, to be fair.
I've had passion for videography since then.
Yeah.
Did you know I came out of the womb with a camera?
Yeah, I think I can say this, but I thought this videography and stuff like that was...
Bro, it's honesty, say it.
Was shit and gay.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely did not like myself, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like, this is a bit cringy. It's weird. I'm going to get slagged for this. Like, with the way I looked at videography or camera work was just fucking perverts and old men who had cameras. So I was like, what am I getting myself into here? And it took me a while to really see the vision. Mm-hmm. So, like, the only reason I got into it was from recording you off your iPhone. So
not even a camera for fuck's
yeah, it wasn't even a camera. It was just off an iPhone, and it was fucking shit.
Makes you a broke pervert.
Yeah, fuck's sake. Like, it looked even worse. We had a fucking phone. I was going around with a phone. The people would look at me and be like, he's not even a cameraman. He's just taking videos of me. Like,
taking a photo and I left his top off.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is going on? But it's where you start. And so obviously, I was working in a hotel doing weddings, doing bar work, and fuck me, it was a shit job. It was horrible. Like, I remember I was working, because at the time I was going to the gym with you. We started going to the gym together, so I was working in between shifts. I was doing like 3 or 4 days on, and there were 11-hour shifts, and I was on my feet the whole day. I remember at one stage I was behind the bar, I was bringing out food, and then I was also out doing like salt on the tarmac because it was slippy. Mm-hmm. And then people were looking at me, even the people there, they're like, what are you doing? And I was getting like shit all over my clothes and all. Like, you were just kind of put in there and you were working a shit job basically, because obviously coming out of school I didn't do too well. I did all right, I did above average probably, but obviously I had no vision about going to college. I should start actually, when I came out of school, it was the electrician apprenticeship. Mm-hmm. So electrician, obviously great job at home, and it's a good route to go down, but unfortunately didn't get my my spot, so I had to go and take that job in the hotel. And then I remember I was just so negative the whole time. Like even when we were training, I was just like, man, I hate my life.
Yeah.
I genuinely hate my life.
I can remember the talk that we had at the gym desk. Because at the time, I had the fitness business, but I still worked in
the
Go Gym.
Yeah.
And I was behind the desk. And I remember you came out and you had such a fucking face like a bursted boo. As I remember, I was like, oh, what's up with you? And you're like, oh, I'm going to work, whatever. Do you remember that conversation? It was behind the...
behind the desk?
I was behind the desk and you were on your way out. You were with Fionn and stuff like that.
Okay.
But
Shout out Fionn.
Yeah, I remember real OG. Remember I said it to you. I was like, man, why don't you just come fucking work for me then? And you were like, yeah.
Actually, I remember the conversation I remember perfectly and how it kind of started was in the sauna.
Yeah. That was the second talk that we had.
Yeah. I remember the
first
second
talk, you
talk.
brushed it off, you laughed, and then I said it to you in the
didn't take it
sauna.
serious.
What was it?
The calls. It was for calls.
Sales calls.
Thank God I didn't do that. I would have been terrible at that to start.
I think you would have been good.
I would have got
You were
into it
shit at
eventually.
videos at the start too.
Yeah,
Like, let's be
true.
real.
Yeah, so I could have got into it. Like even now, I'm a lot better when it comes to kind of sales and stuff like that. So I definitely would have got into it. But I'd say a big thing back then, of course, was where I was in life. So out of shape, shit job, toxic relationship. Yeah. So at that time, everything was just horrible and shit. So when you came to me and was like, here, look, record off my phone, I'll buy you a wrap. Remember, that's how we started.
Yeah.
We didn't even do a wage. You were like, yeah, man, if you come up here with me, like, I'll buy you a wrap and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, man, that's fucking sick.
You'll get a rep.
Yeah, I'll get a fucking wrap then.
Yeah,
That's
you were
perfect.
doing it as well as your job.
Yeah, I was doing it as well as my job. So it was some days we were going at 4 a.m. to Go Gym to film, and we were doing it off the phone.
The phone, yeah.
And at the time, it was literally, I'd get a chicken wrap for her.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
because at the time as well, I was broke.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have money.
Yeah.
And any savings that I had, it was going towards, I think I remember the way I worked it was,
No, you crashed your ma's car. That's what happened to your savings.
sorry, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Fuck's sake.
That's what your fucking savings went, bro.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, we won't get into that.
We said we were going to keep it real.
Yeah, I'm sorry, ma'am. Yeah, well, I crashed our car, so obviously it was a BMW, so it was a bit of cash to go towards that.
That set you back a couple of years.
Just say I was really bad at drifting.
Yeah,
really
you tried
bad.
to drift an automatic car. What the fuck did you expect? When you convinced me that day, you were like, man, I promise you I can drift an automatic car. I was like,
I was
what?
getting there, but the tires were bald. It was pissing rain. Like it was a night where you could barely see out the windows. And I just said, here, fuck it, like just start twisting and see what happens, and then just fucking.
There was a fucking
I'm not
wall.
going to say where. I'm not going to
don't
say
say
where
where.
because I'd be fucking arrested.
the guard.
Yeah, the guard would be up in my man's house being like, here, man, this lad, we fucking found out what happened.
Fuck's sake, you give it away on a
Oh
podcast.
shit, we probably can't say this actually because my mum claimed the insurance. We can't say I crashed it.
Yeah, no, you didn't crash it though.
True, I didn't crash it. Yeah, my man crashed it.
Yeah, stupid.
Dumb, fuck's sake, man, you fucking tick.
Go ahead anyway. From that point,
So I remember,
in the sauna,
in the sauna, you were like, let's why don't you like try some sales calls or something for me? You know, you could take some calls and all. And I remember being like, yeah, man, like this is sick. Like this is actually something that I actually would look forward to doing and giving it a go. But of course, then the reason we didn't go ahead was because of the toxic relationship where
kind of
I was-
convinced you not to do it.
Yeah, I was just being, well, it wasn't more so convincing. It was like, you're not doing it. And if I tried to disagree, it was a fucking big headache. Do you know what I mean? Like it was for me, it was like, here, just try get along as much as you can and just go with it just because to save yourself the energy.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
obviously the arguments and stuff like that weren't worth it. Like, do you remember we were going to Go Gym at 4 a.m. one morning and I was up at like 1 a.m. just fucking arguing like, and then I remember pulling over and getting sick in the graveyard and all just because I was so tired. Because that was the first time wasn't used to no sleep, but I was still getting up at 4 a.m. to Go Gym. And I remember just turning around to you and saying, man, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore.
But that's what it was, because there was a build-up of stress from the relationship, over fatigue, just mental fucking fatigue because you were up arguing, and then you're also up at 4 a.m. filming with me. Yeah. Do you know, I think at the time the only reason you took to filming was to try get away from real life, probably.
Yeah, but like it was just that we had such good crack together. Like we were good friends.
Yeah.
So it was just like obviously as well a big thing, and I remember this conversation as well. I remember you and another guy were sitting there talking about like Bitcoin and all, and you were saying how well you were doing.
Yeah.
And that I would say it was jealousy as well. Like I'm not saying it was jealousy in a bad way.
Yeah,
I was like, I was like, holy shit, like this guy is doing so well. I know I'm capable of doing better.
Yeah.
So when I heard you guys talking about that, I was like, here, like, there's no way this is all for me. Like, this is what I have. Like, it can't be. And like, I know it might sound a bit cringy and stuff like that, but I used to go on walks and stuff like that, and I used to picture myself. I was like, this is not my life. Like, there's no way this is all is there. Built for more, exactly. Didn't know what it was yet, but when that came across, being like, all right, yeah, let's just try this doing off the iPhone. Of course, I took it because what else was I going to do? So obviously, that time of starting with you with the iPhone and then obviously going down the line with the camera, there was just so much shit in between that with stress, whether it be with family, relationship.
Because there was a lot of family stress as well. Yeah.
So there was just so much shit going on. And unfortunately, in that period as well, if you look back at anyone who was in our hometown, a lot of people turned against me. You know,
Everyone pretty much. There was
everyone
only like
turned
2-3
against me.
people.
There's definitely 3 or 4 people. I'd say a few more, because I'd say in my old year, there's definitely a few of the lads, and then in the year I moved into, there's definitely a few lads there as well. So I say there's a decent bit there. Were always supportive, sound, checked in on me. I'd meet up with them every now and then.
Yeah.
But it was just so funny when you seen me trying to do well and how we were just trying to be brought down by everyone. Yeah. And you know, everyone was like, I remember when we first moved to Dubai as well, people were like, oh, you're only there because of Troy, you don't do well, or like you're shit at what you do. Like, just trying their best. Now, of course, I was in Dubai because of you, so I'm not taking that away, definitely. But it's just more so the fact
it was how they were saying it.
Exactly, of how they were trying to drag you down, trying to make me look as bad as possible. So there was a lot of that shit. So obviously when we got to that point where we wanted to move to Dubai, it was a no-brainer. At that point, I wasn't even talking to many people. I had the close friends.
Because everybody turned.
Because everyone kind of turned.
And the relationship was gone too.
The relationship was gone. Thank fuck. Thank fuck.
Yeah.
So that was a big thing. But even, like, it's mad how much a relationship can fuck you up. Just mentally drain you. And even to this day, I still find out stuff like, I was talking to a girl and she said to me that my ex was saying this and that. So when I took that gap where me and you just kind of put the head down, we grinded, like we were sitting in the fucking shed all day. Like, obviously I wasn't really seeing people, so there was probably fucking misinformation and rumors going around about me, which is obviously unfair as well.
Yeah.
So
you had no way to defend yourself though, because
exactly,
you weren't out.
Exactly.
That was a big change in your life though, because there was obviously a difference in friend groups. Obviously, of course, you had your supportive friend group, but I feel like, and I'm not saying that this is a good thing or a bad thing or anything like that, but the type of relationship that we had was like, just fucking grind. I was in the mode where I had no friends. Do you know what I mean? Because look, like you had some really loyal friends. I had 0. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Everybody fucking turned against me when I started the fitness page, started the fitness business. Everyone was like, oh, look at him with his top off.
Yeah.
Gay lord. No.
I know, yeah.
And at that point, I had no friends to go out to, which kind of brought me into this mindset of let's just fucking grind. I've nothing else to fucking do. Yeah. Let's just grind. And then when me and you started kind of doing the thing together, then you kind of got into the habit of just grind. Fuck going out. We were listening to a load of Andrew Tate at the time. You can say what you want about Andrew Tate, but I'll openly put my hand up here and say I would not be where I am today without Andrew Tate.
I agree.
Do you know what I mean?
But it is cringe as it sounds, going to bed at night, I had Andrew Tate's podcast playing, being like, you need to get up, you need to do this shit, you need to do this. And even, it just helped so much. I genuinely, like a lot, like even a thing that was said about me was I went crazy. I'm crazy. Me going with you, doing all this stuff is crazy. It was crazy.
It was
it's
fucking,
it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's kind of like that thing out of Wolf of Wall Street. This is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Look where we are now. Yeah. And I think a big thing as well, like a lot of people don't even believe that I do well now.
That's why at the end of this, I want to go into business, because I want to show everybody how much you've achieved.
Yeah.
Do you know? But before we get into that, you know, when that transition happened, of course, we started, because for other people, it would be like missing pieces of the puzzle. When you started filming with me on the phone, like there was so much frustration because you weren't perfect. You know, you were like, fuck's sake, I'm not perfect, I'm not this, I'm not that. But I think when you finally started to get a tiny bit of confidence is when I started to bring you to meet other influencers, like James Doyle at the time, Ben Williams. And I feel like you speaking to other people in the industry and like presenting yourself. And I remember like, oh no, he's the videographer. He's not Joe. He's not Joe the friend. He's the videographer. And I remember I like strictly told James Doyle, and I was like, no, he's a videographer. Do you know what I mean? And I think as much as we associated you around the word videographer, you kind of grew into that role.
Yeah.
And you started to actually enjoy it.
I didn't see the vision. It took me a little bit longer to get the vision and understand fully what I was doing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was fucking terrible at everything at the start. The camera work was shit. The editing was shit. It was taking me all day to edit like 1 or 2 videos. Like, I remember turning around to you being like, man, I don't think I can do this. Like, this is too hard.
Yeah.
But then we just pushed through it. We were in your house every single day. It was just getting better, getting better, getting
Cold
better.
shed.
Yeah,
we
it was
have the
freezing.
photo.
We get a photo. Yeah, we can pop a photo up of it.
I have the photo. We can put the photo in. I remember we said actually during taking that photo. I set the camera up and I said, we will use this photo one day to look back on our journey.
Yeah.
That's what we said. And you were like, yeah, man.
Yeah, man, 100%. We're going to be millionaires, man.
In your green North Face jacket.
Yeah, because we were sitting beside the little fucking fire because it was so cold.
It was so cold. Like during this time, it would have been like, what, January, February. And it was freezing in my back garden shed. And I had spent all my business profits on a cool, it wasn't, now looking back at it, was a shit setup, but like it was a decent setup. I went to buy IKEA, fucking bought a desk and all, and we sat there with the 2 gaming chairs all day like this up against the fire. We would do this for 10 minutes to warm up our hands and then do this for 10 minutes.
Yeah, and we'd
this
have
for 10,
a cup of tea and a couple of biscuits as well.
My mum
that
was
was
to
the
go for
highlight
that.
of my day.
Yeah, when my mum brought out food.
Yeah, like honestly, I was like, oh my god, I'm so broke. Thank you so much for giving me a cup of coffee. Like I can't afford food. Obviously at home, I had my mum and stuff like making me food, and I'm very grateful for that. But it was just like those little things, just getting a cup of coffee and stuff like that. Like it's mad to see now. Like I was even saying this to someone the other day. It was just kind of like the perception. Is that the right word?
Depends what you're about to say.
Of money now.
Oh yeah.
Is just crazy. Like
So
I
much
remember when we started in Costa and stuff like that, I was like, man, do you reckon I could get a coffee? Do you reckon I could afford a coffee?
Yeah.
And now I'm fucking drinking 3 cups of coffee out in a coffee shop a day when I'm doing work.
To be fair, that's a low coffee amount for you. Nobody do 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's crazy. Like it's just mad to see how far. It's just scary and it's so cool. Like obviously we're still at a point where we've so much to grow, but even gone from literally fuck all to where we are now, it's just sick.
It's so cool. Like I even remember back when, of course, I had the job in the gym, and then like keep in mind I also had a second job. That's when I got Gym Plus Coffee. This was prior to working together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was in Gym Plus Coffee, which is a retail job. I was doing 40 to 50 hours a week go gym, and then 30 to 40 hours Gym Plus Coffee. And then I also had the online business, online content creation. And my head was just like it was like a hair knot. My brain was just tangled. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I got to a point where I got really depressed and I convinced myself I was suicidal. I convinced myself I was suicidal. I was like, I'm hearing voices in my head. I remember saying it to my man and dad, crying and all. I was like, I just broke down. They turned around to me and were like, you're psycho. Do you know what I mean? She's like, just quit one of your jobs. Do you know what I mean? But I was trying to have this, how could I make as much money as possible? And then of course invest as much as possible into like mentors, like camera equipment, which at the time, like we'll tap a fucking $3,000 camera now, it's grand. But at the time,
it was a huge risk.
Bro, I remember I bought that first camera and I was like, Joe, this is going to be our camera now.
Yeah,
like,
I still have that camera.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But obviously, like it's a fucking sick camera at like, do you know what I mean? But when I made that investment, I was like, holy shit. Like, we have to make this work. I remember saying it to you, bro. I was like, I'm after buying a fucking €2,000 camera. We have to do this.
And at the time, it was like, we have to make this work because I look fucking crazy to everyone in this whole world. If we don't make this work, like, the slag we're going to get is going to be terrible.
We're gonna be out in the pub and everyone's like, wait, aren't you those motherfuckers that you had your top off and he was following them with
with a fucking camera? Fucking gay balls. Fuck's sake, yeah, exactly. So it was to be fair, at that point, it was for both of us. It's this or nothing.
Yeah.
So we had to go.
We literally had nothing else.
We had nothing else.
And the funny thing is, you were planning on going into fitness after school, and it's kind of aligned weirdly the way you're still involved in fitness.
Yeah, I still love fitness. Obviously, go to the gym. We train MMA. Like it's health and fitness, sports, all the way up through schools and stuff like that. Like it's been a huge thing. And obviously, for me, I really wanted to go and do personal training. I was a sports and science degree. Obviously, I really wanted to do that, but I was obviously counselors were like, no, there's no money in that. You can't do that. Yeah. But if I done that course, again, like you did a course in that, PTs and stuff like that, there was ways of getting it. And that's going through the school system as well, how shit the school system is.
School systems, like the most fucked up shit ever. Yeah. And like I just like, and yet again, when I say that I'm into Andrew Tate, like I don't suck. I'm not a top
Yeah.
cheese.
We don't agree
suck
with
him
everything
off.
he says. Like,
Don't agree with absolutely everything he says, but the things that he says about you needing to, look after people, make money so you can be the best person ever. Like the shit that I've been able to do for my mother, father,
Same.
my partner, like we've been able to impact other people's lives with our money, right? So in regards to what Andrew Tate says about that, that's what it was. It was like, you need to stop. You're a fucking male. Yeah. You need to stop sitting there being fucking sorry for yourself every single day. You need to get the fuck up and work every single day as hard as you can. Not go out, not enjoy the rich life or pretend to be rich until you are rich.
got it. Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Yeah.
In regards to what we were talking about something there and I kind of went off, but
Yes.
you got your camera and then it was like, because we done with the camera for a while,
Yeah.
I started getting views. I started making more money.
Yeah.
And I think I hit my first 10K a month at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I said to you, bro, we
It
just
was-
fucking go all.
It was in Costa Coffee. I remember saying
met
to
me
you,
there,
were like,
yeah.
you were like, yeah, man, I have a proposal for you. So like, how much you getting paid in your job, whatever? And I was like, yeah, I was getting paid. Well, probably it was nearly $1,000 a month or whatever.
Yeah, it was like 1,200, I think it was.
Yeah, and you just turned around and went, tell you what, man, like, if hypothetically, if I gave you that, would you come and just work full time for me with the videography and stuff like that? And I was like, if you're being serious, I'll ring my manager right now and quit.
You did.
And I did. It was just before Christmas as well, because I remember ringing them and it was like, because I was saying to you, I was getting rostered for Christmas fucking Eve, New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And I was just like, here, fuck this. I rang him and said, here, man, I'm not coming in, I'm done. Like, and that was it.
And I wasn't even thinking about that. I didn't, like, that wasn't something I was trying to think about for a couple of days. That was something that I came up with on the moment. You came in, you looked like a fucking bag of shit.
Yeah, I was
Do you
a
know what
bag
I
of
mean?
shit.
You came in, you were like, oh, fuck's sake, man, go to work.
Yeah, well, obviously it was fucking shit. It was like 3 o'clock in the day as well. I was like, man, I have to go into the hotel. I have to stand there for like 2 or 3 hours just holding glasses and collecting glasses.
Yeah.
Like, it was depressing. Like, but I have to say though, in that job, there was 1 or 2 obviously lovely people, nice people, and I was lucky that I did get hired by one of the guys. He was a nice fella, and I was grateful for it at the time. But it was fucking shit work. Like, you're getting paid. I was getting paid like €12 an hour.
Yeah.
Like, fucking hell.
Fuck
€12 an hour. Now I look at €12 and I go, how the fuck would I live off €12?
Literally. When you called your boss, what was that feeling like? Were you obviously you were scared? I'm sure.
I was hype as fuck. To be fair, I was like, "Here, I'm fucking outie."
You weren't even like, not that you weren't nice on the phone, but you were very straight. Like,
Yeah,
you
I
were
was
like,
like,
yeah,
I'm
I'm not
gone.
coming in today. You didn't even give him notice. You said, I'm not coming in today.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, can you come inside?" I was like, "Nope."
Joe just went, no, I'm not available today.
Yeah.
And he sat down beside me. I bought him a coffee and we just worked.
Oh, fucking brilliant. Honestly,
I love it because we actually do have a story.
yeah,
Do you know that it would have upset me so much if we just got handed down shit.
I know,
That's
yeah.
why I'm so grateful that we came from families that, don't get me wrong, we had a roof over our head. We got what we needed. We had clothes on our back, but we didn't get handed down shit.
yeah. Like, I had some close family members, and to be fair, like my dad and stuff like that, they'd always look after me in certain ways. Like, I'd get nice clothes. I was always looked after, but of course, then as into the mid-teens, late teens, obviously shit started going wrong with them. Money became a different scenario. So then it was kind of like, you're defending for yourself. You don't have anything. Like, of course, I was able to get insured. I paid for insurance on their cars, and all. Like, we were lucky that they had cars that we could drive and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like we were fucking given 10, 20 grand or being like, here's an investment to your business or something like that. We literally, like, and that brings us to moving to Dubai. Like, when we talk about moving to Dubai, I literally, luckily enough, I did get some money for a family.
Yeah.
But I had to sell nearly all my clothes. I sold my fucking gym, my home gym. I sold a JBL speaker. I was just selling everything just to fucking get enough money to go for 1 month's rent.
Yeah. Because we said it. We went on holidays first initially.
Yeah.
And you spent everything you had.
Yeah.
I remember it as well because you had €300 left. Right. At that time, I was doing decent. I was like making the odd 10K a month, but of course, I was with a platform that was taking 50%
half
of my
your money.
earnings.
Yeah.
So that's a frustration that I've spoke about before, and for another day. But like, I had a couple of grand. Do you know what I mean? A couple of grand, I was doing okay. And back in Ireland, you do a couple of grand. I was
fucking
top
living it.
G.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was top G. Everybody knew me closely, knew that I was fucking balling, and that stopped me from growing. And I remember I said it to you, bro, we need to get the fuck out of here. And you were saying like, oh, what is it for you? And I was like, bro, the market out there for fitness coaching, I was like, it's unfucking believable how many fitness coaches are out there. Like, you can have, like, see me, how long does that take you? Do you know what I mean? Like, at the time, Like, let's be real, when you got fast editing, it wasn't taking you much time.
No.
It was taking us time because we were fucking messing all the time
Yeah,
in the gym.
that's a cool story as well, though. But when we talk about like how we were planning on going to Dubai, you were like, "Oh, we should go to Dubai. Like, we can make businesses out of it. You can make more money and stuff
Yeah.
like that." And you were like, to me, like, you can. That kind of goes back into actually you helped me with business anyway. Like, you've been helping me with business since day one. Like, obviously you've had your mentorship for a certain amount of time, but you've always been growing my business with me. Like,
Yeah,
so that's
somewhat
pretty cool.
of a mentor.
But what's really cool, I think, and I remember saying this to Ben Bray as well. I was like, Ben, do you want to know a funny story, right? 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago, me and Troy were sitting there in the shed, right? And we writ a list of names of people that we were going to get in Dubai.
Yeah.
And Ben Bray was on
one
that.
of them. Yeah,
And now Ben Bray is a client.
yeah,
It's
that's
just mad, isn't it?
And to be fair, we actually stopped putting too much names on it because we were like, right, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Yeah.
Do you
And
know what I mean?
now it's like on a peak month, 20 clients a month, 20 fitness coaches.
Which just like we'll give a little teaser towards like business, and we can go into that now. Like when you first came out, you had me, of course. I was paying you about like what €1,000 a month, and then of course our agreement was like, of course, I'd pay for bills and all. You wouldn't have to worry about that for the first couple of months until you get your feet off the
Until you
ground.
yeah.
But bro, when you got out there, you landed your first client
In May.
in the first month.
Yeah.
You landed.
So we thought I wasn't going to be able to pay rent in the first month. You were like, look, listen, until you find your fee, I've got you, which was great.
Yeah.
But then I managed to actually be able to get the fucking clients.
Because we went to a beach club.
Went
didn't
to a
we?
beach club, met lovely lads, and I was able to get a client out of that. I think I got like 3 clients in the first month.
Yeah.
3 clients is nothing. Like, that's crazy to think about. Like, that was only like just
Well, to
over
you,
3
that
grand.
was your security.
Yeah,
like,
like that was over 3 grand. So that was my rent covered, which was huge. Like, we didn't think so. It was the fact that we were actually able to get out there, and I was actually able to pay rent from the first month on when we didn't think we would be able to, which
Yeah.
was a fucking blessing in disguise.
oh man, it helped me out
Yeah,
so
I
much.
know, yeah, it didn't
because
put you
I
under
went
pressure.
over with all my savings. I had about 25. Because I remember I went down to the AIB bank in Wicklow Town, and I walked in there and I said, "Yeah, can I just take out 25 grand out of that ATM there?" And they were like, "What?" They were like, "Number one, who the fuck are you? And number two, do you think we have 25 grand sitting here?"
Yeah, you had
And
to go to the other. They had to bring money from another
they
bank.
had to
didn't
bring money from another bank, which was the day before we left. It was just in time because I was planning on buying a car. The first day I fucking went out there. So I'll go into that.
It's so good though.
It's so worth
Yeah.
it. But anyway, I went in and I remember all of them asking me questions. I was just turned 18 years old. No, sorry. I was 18 years old at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't just turn it. And I was sitting there in the bank. Do you know the way they bring you into a little stall?
Yeah.
Have you ever
Remember the
took...
story. I
Oh,
remember the story you're telling
I have
me.
a video of it. I
Yeah,
took a
yeah,
video.
yeah.
And I took a video just slyly of the woman behind the counters asked me loads of questions. She was like, just out of curiosity, what do you do? I was like, oh, I'm a business owner. Okay. And like, what is the business? And I was like, oh, it's a fitness business. And she was like, a fitness business? She was like, right, okay. And she was
Yeah.
almost having a laugh as if, I know you're a fucking drug
drug
dealer,
dealer.
but it's okay. Like me and you are gonna,
Yeah.
me and you are gonna vibe a tiny bit. Like
Yeah.
slide me a 20 after this, yeah. But she was just sitting there being like, counting the money. She was like 5, 10 grand.
You had a video.
15.
Yeah, you had the video of the money machine as well.
The
as
money
counting
machine,
it. Yeah.
counting, and it was going up into the 20 to 25s. At that time, I was like, look at me now.
Yeah, I'm fucking balling.
That didn't last long. I went out to Dubai. I bought a fucking brand new Mustang straight away, and I was pretty much like that.
Yeah.
I had like 2 grand, put it into a mentor,
Yeah.
and then I was actually officially broke. Joe had more money than me at that time, and I was the one that was supposed to be fucking looking after him. And I came out to you and I go, bro, just invest in my first mentor. And you were like, how much was that? I was like, yeah, like 3 grand. And you were like, wait, how much money do you have? For a Mustang? And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'll make it work, bro. Yeah.
You were like, no, you had to make it work.
I was
You
like,
had to make
I
it work.
have to
But sure, I
fucking
was
make
the
it
same.
work.
Like, I had to make every month work because
Yeah.
there was at one point you were like, oh man, I don't know what's going on. I was like, listen, like if worse come to worse and you didn't have it, I have it. Like, we have each other
Yeah,
back. So
yeah.
we were gonna have it either way. But obviously, of course, that mentor helped you out tremendously, and you got fucking savage months out of it.
Oh,
And
it
you,
was savage.
You
once
blew
I-
up.
I
Got away from
blew up.
Linus.
But yeah, so I got away from that company, and then of course we started expanding the business, and then of course, fast forward, how long have we been in Dubai now?
Just over 2 years.
It's over 2 years. Went from eating chicken wraps, barely even fucking affording dinner. We didn't go out for a single piece of food. That chap wouldn't buy himself a fucking baguette for the first 6 months of Dubai.
Yeah, because I was too afraid of losing money. I was like, no, I need this for rent, rent. Didn't buy fuck all. Like, didn't even get haircuts for a while. Like,
We were both the scruffiest motherfuckers.
yeah, it was,
ever.
but it was like your first time living alone, your first time looking after yourself. It was learning.
We're
how
both
to,
Mammy's boys as well.
Yeah. So like, you don't have your mammy there cooking and cleaning for you anymore. So it was just kind of like, what the fuck do I do? How do I cook? We got an air fryer and our chicken was pink all the time. Like, we were kind of like ringing, being like, here, can we even eat this?
Yeah,
It
sending
was just-
pictures to our mom,
Yeah,
being like,
it was-
"Ma, please help me. Because we were both like, we weren't independent at all.
No.
Like, let's be real.
No, it was shit.
We didn't even know how to put the fucking wash on. Like, it was just, it was so foreign to us. But it's so funny because everybody's probably watching this, like, being like, oh, what do these two lads know? Like, going to a point, we'll go to your business now, but like going from a point of barely eating fucking food out, like obviously making, I was making 10K a month, but it's not a lot of money when you don't keep it.
Sure, even when I was in that summer, which is cool as well, of us being in that apartment together, like I was on a couch bed. I was only making probably what, $3,000 during that summer. And obviously after that summer, that's when the business started to really take off. And that's when we got into investing into employees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was just like, we had nothing.
We
had nothing there. It was literally like, and I remember we had a conversation. We sat down at like 12 o'clock at night. I was like, look, like we're fine. Like if worst comes to worst, we have homes to go home to. We were like, everything's going to be fine.
We were actually like facing the fact that we might be on.
Yeah, we might be going home.
Yeah.
And then again, it was, as you were saying there, all of us eating shit food. Like we were eating chicken goujons and stuff like that. And now look at us. We don't eat at home.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't cook.
We don't. I haven't cooked in.
I haven't cooked.
Neither of you. Me and you haven't cooked in.
I haven't cleaned. We get maids in. I haven't done fucking anything. Like
bougie ass motherfuckers.
Yeah,
huh?
That's what I mean. Like gone from literally being like eating fucking pink shitty chicken and spending, because it was like what, it was like €7 for a 500 gram.
Yeah.
To now fucking.
It's just levels though. Like gone from like going into AIB Bank being like 25 grand, taking this out, I'm top G, to now just hitting my new record month, $120,000.
Congratulations, by the way. Fucking hell, that's insane.
Made that last night. So it's just like looking down now, just being like, we were fucked.
$120,000. Holy fuck.
Fucking nuts.
I hope people are watching this and it's just like,
yeah, fuck
yeah,
you for saying we couldn't make it. Let's go into you, bro. Yeah. So we moved to Dubai. And at first, initially, of course, you got all your clientele. Things sped up very fast, but there was something that changed for you, man, and it was employees. It was when you could get out of the entire workflow. Now, fast forward to now, going from a point of not even buying yourself a baguette roll, sitting in a cold shed, both you and I, wondering if we could afford a coffee the next day and cost a coffee, to a point of just 2 years later, €20,000 months. Fucking not eating, not cooking, not cleaning.
Yeah.
Bro, what's that like?
Living in a villa.
You live in a fucking 3-bedroom villa for what? 4-bedroom.
3-bedroom a maid, so yeah, 4-bedroom.
4-bedroom villa for what? Do you know, what does that feel like?
It doesn't feel real. It's only when you sit down and actually kind of think about it. Yeah. Like I sat down with Evan the other day and I was just kind of like, man, our life is so fucking easy and so chill. Like we're just sitting here in the villa, we're in Dubai, sunny out. I don't even like it, I don't realize it.
You don't process.
Don't process it at all. Like I genuinely can't even imagine back to that point of us not being able to eat. Like it's crazy. Like I don't eat. I'll cook at home. Like if I'm dieting, fucking one day out of the week, I might cook eggs or something like that. You know what I mean?
To convince yourself
you're
doing.
Yeah. I'll cook a bit of bread and fucking, well, I'll microwave some rice or something like that. But that's the only thing I do at home. But it doesn't feel real. And I think I still have that imposter syndrome of where it's like, I don't feel mad different. But when we actually talk about it and say how far it's fucking gone, is crazy. Like even with the business, having the employees, having my own villa, being able to go out and eat what I want, do what I want.
Spend the summer in Marbs.
Spend 6 weeks in Marbs last year, going to Marbs again for probably a month or two this month. Like, that's fucking crazy. I live in Dubai in a villa and I'm going to Marbella for most of the summer. Like that costs a fucking fortune as well. Like it's not fucking cheap.
Thousands, man. That would probably cost you up to 10 grand just for that.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like when Joe first got his first bit of money, that we aren't, but we're both of us were like, I've learned financial independence, but it took me a very long time. You remember me.
I'm still at a point where like I do spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here and go, I can sit here and say that I can be better. I can start saving and stuff like that. I should be putting more money away. Fuck it. Like realistically, I don't regret going to business class New York trip together. That was fucking sick. That was when that was the
first month that you done.
I made over
really
10K.
Good. You made over 10K.
So I made over 10K, and I remember like this is ridiculous. I made over 10K, and I spent 6K on flights.
Yeah.
3K to fucking 3 or 4K to New York.
Yeah.
And it was like 3K to Ireland business class.
Yeah.
I spent so much money on business class flights. It was fucking worth it. It was fucking sick.
When you fly business,
you never want to go back.
You never want to go back. It's because you've put yourself now into, not that anybody that flies economy is like peasants or anything like that, but what I'm just saying is when you do work so fucking hard. Yesterday I had a 16-hour workday. That's the type of shit that people don't look at, you know? The days that you're stressed, you're fucking pulling your hair out because you're trying to hire new employees. Like, we deserve that level of feeling of like, okay, I made it.
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's kind of giving back to yourself. That was a big thing we used to talk about as well when we first started making money. It was like, realistically, you do need to give back to yourself to be like, here, look.
Feedback loop,
yeah, exactly. Like, you're doing so well, here's your reward.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been huge for us. Like,
Without that, I don't think you would ever been able to have the motivation. And still, like, you still always put your business first. But that's why you've been able to maintain the business and not like other people that earn a quick buck and then go straight back down. You've been able to maintain this level of business. Like, the other fucking day you were sitting there being like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, just shit feels so slow. Only a 15K month. And I'm like, motherfucker, chill out.
I know, yeah. I mean? But do you remember when we got the 3 months in a row, pretty much 20K?
Yeah.
3 months in a row, 20K. And I remember turning around to you.
€60,000, a doctor's wage in 3 months.
Yeah, in 3 months. And I remember turning around to you and going, man, I'm so upset. And you're like, why? And I was like, man, on my sheet it says 19,500. Like, for fuck's sake, like. I was genuinely pissed off that day. I was like, man, it's not good enough.
You actually miscalculated that day as well.
I think. And I was so pissed off. I was like, what is going on? And you were like, mate, will you shut the fuck up? Like, what are you on about? And I was just like, I was like, fuck's sake, like, you do better or not.
And then you missed out.
20K month.
And then you missed out on it. It was actually a 21K month.
Yeah, it was 21K month. Ridiculous, like.
It's fucking nuts, bro. Because coming from genuinely not much to a point of where we're at now, and the fact that we were able to be a part of each other's journey the whole way through as friends, because most people will fall out throughout this process. They'll either, the jealousy will kick in, you know, or they'll they'll fall out because of difference of routines. They won't be able to see each other, you know, all that type of thing. But we were able to fucking make it work. And to say that our friendship is even stronger than it is now as comparison to when we first started is fucking nuts. And money has allowed us to do that.
Yeah, but it's even just, we've had each other's back the whole time. Like, we've both realistically had no one else.
Yeah.
Like, I was always coming to you, you're always coming to me. Like, we had each other's back and we're more brothers than just friends.
Because out here, man, it is only me and you. You friends, I've friends, but we, like, we don't have no one.
Yeah, if we need to go to someone and we don't have family, it's us. Mm-hmm. And that's the way it's been since we've been here. So we've been our family for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But, like, it's like, for me, I don't have 1 ounce of jealousy at all.
Yeah.
When you come and say you've made a fucking 100K month, I'm like, holy fucking shit, that's fucking sick. Where if you had friends back at home, or if you had maybe other people out here, they might go, fucking prick, like, fuck's sake, I'm a bit pissed. Don't get me wrong, it makes me drive for more.
Yeah,
and like, even coming into this month, I'm a lot more locked in. I'm fucking killing it in business this month. Like, again, we're on track for another 20K month, which is fucking sick. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like, there's nothing to be jealous about. Like, it's fucking unreal. Because there's like, what's there to be jealous about? Like, you winning, I believe I'm winning as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think if we didn't, if one of us was missing out on this, you weren't hitting new record months, you weren't pushing, you know what I mean, that would just be a waste of motivation. You know, like, we can really utilize this. Like, I mean, even when you come in, it doesn't matter numbers at the end of the month. Even when you text me and be like, bro, I just closed the sale. I'm like,
sick.
Yeah, that's fucking sick, man. I was like, fuck, I need to do that now. I was like, I need to follow. Like, this motherfucker's working hard. I need to do that too.
That's what I mean. When you were like, when you said that 100K month, I was like, fucking hell. Like, I've been at the laptop now this last while, just non-fucking stop. Just work.
Yeah.
And it's just now, it's just trying to grow that extra bit. Like, obviously, we put in place the system, the background with the employees to now we can scale to the next level of easily. Hopefully 30, 40, even 50K.
Oh, absolutely. Like, at that given time, the reason why the number past 20 was making it a bit harder was because there was not much reinvestment back into the business. We had editors that was allowing you to, of course, not be editing, which is a fucking amazing thing. Like, editing is a really taxing thing.
Sure, it was taking me, so to go over my business at the very start, it was, the way we worked, I was on my own with 7 clients. So when I had my first 7 or 8K months, it was purely just me. It was film that client that morning, edit all day. Film the client, edit, film, edit, film, edit. Now, of course, that allowed for the service to be quick turnover times. I was getting to the next day. Like, I was putting the work in, which allowed the business to grow. And then eventually we were like, okay, now we need someone to come in and just edit the videos that day.
Yeah.
And that's led to now, obviously, how we have that service is 2 or 3 day turnover time. Obviously, it's a bit longer now because 1, we have a lot of clients, and 2, the quality of the videos matter. So like
I think the quality has improved though as well.
exactly, the quality's improved majorly. So it's going to take a bit longer to have better quality videos, and people understand that. Like people don't complain. People are like, "You man, like sometimes we have some videos that might take a little bit longer, so the videos might come over within 4 days." But people are like, "Dude, like that's fucking fine. Like you're still quicker than anyone we've ever worked with, so
Yeah,
it's fine."
Yeah, absolutely. What time is it? So we're finishing up now. This mentorship, or sorry, this podcast was obviously supposed to be touching on mentorship. Just really quickly, if there's any fitness coaches watching right now, you work with fitness coaches every single day. If there was anyone watching this thinking, oh, I'm a bit on the fence about joining Troy and Trojan Scaling Circle, what would you say to them?
I'd say 100% join up. As you just said, you're making fucking 100k months. Like that's fucking ridiculous in the first place, especially with being young. The big thing for me is just having that help and support from someone is huge. Like no matter what it is, just having a bit of help in that background, and especially someone who's so experienced and has been there and done what you've done, you need that in your corner. So 100%, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Appreciate you for coming on. If anybody wants to keep up with your journey, where do they follow you?
Joe's Pro Visuals on Instagram and TikTok, but
Yeah.
Instagram. TikTok's not as good.
just go with the IG. Appreciate you for coming on, man. As
Appreciate
a
you having
friend, as a client, everything one of them. I appreciate you, and congratulations on all your success. And if you're a fitness coach who wants to scale their business and book a free one-to-one consult with me, I'll leave a link in the description. You can book that in. But other from that, make sure you subscribe, like, drop a comment if you did find any value or any funny stories. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one.